the Defence Secretary John Healey is expected to announce that British military personnel will soon be authorised to shoot down drones that threaten military bases. This of course comes after all those recent drone incursions over Eastern Europe by the Russians and mysterious sightings of drones over 4 RAF bases last year, including Mildenhall and Lakenheath, which are used by the Americans. So how do you down a drone? Well, of course, there's lots of variables here, the size of the UAV involved, the altitude, etc. But here's a few ways it could be done. First up, some sort of electronic warfare system to take down the UAV at range. The UK MOD recently launched this, a new directed energy weapon called the RFDU, which sends out an intense radio beam that basically fries a drone's electronics. It can engage multiple targets at once. It's not affected by the weather like a laser would be and only costs 10 pence per shot. And you can imagine this would be ideal to install at military airfields. Secondly, a sort of handheld version of that, an anti-drone gun. There's various types available already. This one is called the Night Fighter. It's British made and has been tested by the Army. It also uses radio waves to disrupt drones' electronics in flight. So that's another possible option. Then there's the more kinetic solutions, actually shooting the drones down. There's systems out there like this one from Anduril called the Roadrunner that will hunt and destroy drones. This one is even reusable. And Raytheon make this system called the Coyote, which does a very similar job. Now this of course isn't exactly what you'd want to deploy over the English countryside because they tend to be a bit messy. Stuff tends to fall out of the sky. But that's the problem to an extent with any counter-drone system. The same would go for any sort of interceptor drone, which we're seeing a lot of in Ukraine, using a drone to bring down another UAV, often by just ramming into them. In fact, the UK is co-developing an interceptor called the Octopus with the Ukrainians. So this is actually tech the MOD would have access to. So what else could they use? Well, less kinetic methods could include things like this, the Skywall 100, which is a portable system that automatically tracks a drone and then launches a projectile carrying a net. Once it's snared the UAV, it then brings it back down to earth by parachute so it can be inspected. So it has the benefit of providing evidence. What we've seen a great deal of in Ukraine though is simple gunfire, mainly shotguns and anti-aircraft guns being used to take out drones as they approach. Now this is obviously a last resort because you only have a matter of seconds to find the UAV and fire, and it has to be fairly close, so this is probably not something you're going to see around RAF airfields. Finally, perhaps a more light-hearted solution, but what about these? It's a few years ago now, but the Dutch police briefly trialled their own flying squad, a group of Sea Eagles, to catch drones in flight and bring them down.